What is up, guys? It's your host, Monster Megs here. I'm going to bring another new video today. Just kind of wanted to go over a recent war that we just, that the Grotto was just in with Winter Kingdom. Was actually probably one of the uh, greatest finishes to a clan war I've ever been a part of. And here's why. We were up by two going into the final 15 minutes of the war. I kind of show you here. But they had a lot less attacks used than we did, and so I was really kind of worried because they had some very good quality attacks from their number one player. Guy had level 40 heroes and stuff like that. Princess Rue had some very decent stats as well as Chunny. I guess in terms of war stars. So, needless to say, we were kind of worried that we were going to narrowly lose this one. But as you can see, we kind of pulled out a lot of defenses right at the end. Every single attack that they tried, they really weren't successful. So I guess I'll show you their attack by their number one against Bill, who hadn't been starred yet. It really kind of came up big because 2 stars there would have tied it, and then assuming that they would have gotten another star somewhere else, they would have won the war. So without further ado, kind of just show you what happened here. And because I promised Lord Waldorf I'd make him famous, give a big shout out to him here. Yeah. Shout out to Big Lord Waldorf, leader of the clan. But as you can see, he obviously tried to lure Bill's troops here, cleaning them up relatively quickly, bunching up those archers so he can take them out with the splash. That level 40 queen is just gonna go ham on pretty much anything. And he's gonna drop in his golems here and follow him up with wizards behind. So prototypical go weeby. But as you can see, his queen got targeted relatively early by that archer tower. That archer tower did not target those golems. So he had to use his ability relatively quickly, as well as he had to drop a rage spell probably way earlier than he would have liked. His queen's already at half health, and dropped all his Pika at one time, which probably is the reason why this failed, because they all started going around the base. So as you can see, they're kind of up here. And now they're going to the outside. And anyone that knows anything about go wipe attack knows that is definitely not what you want to do. Obviously tries to salvage it here with the jump spell and hoping they're going to obviously go in towards the middle. But just because you use a jump spell does not mean that those Pika are gonna automatically funnel into it and go towards the middle. They're still going to target the closest building, in which case was his barracks. So they used it again and hopped right around to the outside. And at this point, his queen went down a little bit before. But he's got 5 Pika on the outside. The skeleton traps are going to slow them around quite a bit, but they're just getting fire rained on them from literally every which side. They're going to go after this king here because obviously they got his attention. Take him down, little ease. But at this point, he's got really nothing to make them funnel into the outside. All the closest buildings are literally all on the outside of this base, so they're just gonna, that expo is gonna just keep hitting them. Those mortars are gonna keep hitting them as they slowly, work their way through this. So that was obviously probably the biggest turning point of this raid. The level 40 king goes down, tries to freeze those single target defenses, which are a Pika's weakness. But for some reason, they decided to break through that wall there and then continue to go to the outside. So maybe a little bit of luck, but luck helps every once in a while. And I guess I just want to give a big shout out to my boy Keel. He he had a pretty good war overall. He got 2-star, but he held up against 5 attacks. And as you can see here at the end, he didn't give up that last 3-star, which is really what you want out of a base like that. So it was obviously pretty big. Sam Jack 2 also had 4 defenses this war, which is kind of huge. A lot of them were against lower ranked players and stuff like that. But the big thing with him is his clan class will just complements him so much that it obviously helps. So I will show you the most heroic attack in the war because I do think most heroic attack is something cool. Obviously right now we got Chief R going in against Jason from Winter Kingdom. Drops his 2 golems down, follows them up with wizard behind. So obviously typical deployment for a go wipe attack. He's got 1 golem left. One thing I think he could have done better is he could have distributed distributed his wall breakers a little bit. He kind of spammed them all at one time, which it worked in this case because he raged them. But for the most part, that's not going to work because if they get targeted by some splash damage, you're not going to be able to break into the center of the base. Like, they're all going to die at one time, and that's not good. But rage wall breakers will do work, and as you can see here, he's got all his troops in the middle. Now he's dropping that rage, and the rage is very effective because it really got all of his main units within it, and so they're just going to go ham in the center of this village. Nice jump spell there to exit the core. One thing that I know a lot of people could improve on is you want to always try to save your jump spell until the end of the raid. Sometimes, if you can't break into the center, you have to drop it sooner so you can get that sure 2-star. But you always want to try to save it so you can exit the core, because usually you don't have wall breakers near the end of your raid. So he did a good job of that here, and he's got some air troops in the clan castle. So he brought them. They're just going to help clear everything out. I've been doing that a lot lately, carrying some minions at the end on pretty much all my accounts. And if you're left with a couple cannons or something like that, you can just kind of drop them and they'll kind of just go ham on it. But yeah, honestly, that concludes a nice 3-star most heroic attack for Chief R. So shout out to you, big guy. But other than that, yeah, it was probably one of the closest wars I've ever been a part of. Everyone was kind of going crazy right at the end, and I'm not gonna lie, the war bonus right there was pretty nice. But other than that, guys, hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.